Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let's go through data engineering resources because one of my previous videos, some of you mentioned that you want to know how to get started with data engineering, or let's say what are the good resources for data engineering, right? Some of you even mentioned for LLMs. So I created a video called how to get started with LLMs. Just to be clear here, this is not a roadmap kind of video, which I have also mentioned in this how to get started with LLMs video. My aim here is to provide what I know in the field of those specific topics. By the way, if you are new to this channel, just to mention here, I am creating videos related to data science, AI, LLMs, in the future machine learning stuffs also. If you are new and if you find the videos helpful, please like the video, share if you want, and do subscribe. That will help me a lot in creating, or let's say it motivates me to create more videos in this specific field in the future. Okay, now let's go through the data engineering resources. Let's get started. Okay, everything I have compiled in this repository, data engineering resources. Now it is private, but I will make this public once I create the video. As I said you before also, one thing that you need to be careful here, this is just my take in how to get started with data engineering. Just take it as a 2 cents, just helping, just I'm trying to help some of you who are new to this. To be clear, this is not a roadmap for getting started into data engineering. This is the good point, because many of you wanted to learn data engineering in 5 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. I'm not into those kind of videos, because everyone is not the same. That's my philosophy. Because the thing, let's say I can take 1 month to learn some stops into large language models, and some of you can do that in 1 week, and some of you might take 6 months. How does that roadmap kind of video feel into that space, right? Just take your time. I will provide the resources. There is multiple resources that you can go through, and yeah, just learn. I'm not covering the books you should study, university studies and certificates. That's up to each and every one of us. I want to be more practical here. And I assume you have satisfactory understanding of Python and SQL. That is the main things that you need to do. Scala is good to have, but it's not mandatory, because some of the things that you will be learning when you get into work life. So let me just make one thing clear here. My assumption was also, when I was in my university studies, I think that I need to learn all the things at once, because I see so many tools out there, and all the people say, okay, this is the new tool, this is the new tool you need to study, and something like that, right? And I try to study also, but that didn't went that well, because when I study, of course I will remember that, I will do some hands on, and then when I get into work or when I do some projects, I will be just using some tools out of those many, and they will just go into wild. Better just to know the high level things, and choose some basic things, or let's say choose some specific things, and then go ahead. Having basics understanding of CI/CD is necessary. There is DevOps, MLOps to help, of course, because when you get into the working life, there will be many teams working in one project, let's say, and having the basic understanding of CI/CD is good. For example, having the basic understanding of Git stuffs. What is Git? How to add things, how to commit, how to pull, how to push the things into the GitHub repository, how to do some mods, how to resolve the conflicts in a basic level. Once you start practicing that skills, it will just come handy, and there will be many people guiding you in the way. Basic understanding of Git and CI/CD, for example, is necessary, because we'll be having many pipelines and you need to connect from one to another, right? And after knowing the basics and how things work, it's up to you, right? What to do. Or let's say it's just a cup of tea or coffee, whatever you want to take it. And one thing that you need to remember is, knowing and implementing data engineering tools are different things. Try to implement if it is a simple program or project, because practice makes perfect. If you just go through the videos, for example this video also, if you just watch me speaking something without going through the links and trying to figure out yourself, it will just go away in few minutes, few hours, or few days. but if you implement this or practice this, then it will help you, right? Now I will just show you some of the things to get started. For example, choose between Databricks and Snowflake. If you are completely new to Databricks and Snowflake also, that's not a problem. I have created a playlist in Databricks. Let me go to the Databricks. This is the Databricks, your data, your AI, your future. So this is, let's say that nowadays people want to learn Snowflake or Databricks in a way. For me, I have learned Databricks. I haven't gone into the Snowflake side yet, so I can just say about Databricks. And if you are new, I have created a playlist of Databricks, 30 days of Databricks. You will get to know all the basics of Databricks and how Databricks work there, right? But that's my take, and I haven't dived into the Snowflake world, but I may be in the future, because that is not the need as of now, because where I work, Databricks is being used. So there is no, let's say that there is no need of me exploring Snowflake at this moment, but I might do that. And if you want to go through this, just go through the Snowflake. And this is AI ML is easier in the data cloud. Just explore this. I'm not going to go in depth in this video, right? Just choose one of that. And how to choose also, I will show you later how you can do that, right? And that is one thing you need to choose among that. And now I want to show you this diagram, which is really really good to choose different things here. Modern open source data stack. We are talking about open source kind of things, right? So there is this data collection and integration things. There is many things, as you can see here. And you don't need to let's say learn all. You need to choose one and master that, and switching between different projects is easier later. And data warehousing things, there are Spark, Trinio. Many people are talking about Trinio these days. Just go into it. Formerly Presto SQL, right? And there are other things also here. And transformation, you need to do the ETL steps. Now there is ELT also, right? But there is the transformation is the main thing here. And DBT and Apache Airflow, Prefect. There is Daxter, Flink, Beam, many things, right? All these tools I know on a high level, but I am mainly using Airflow and DBT. I would recommend going with those things in the beginning if you just want my opinion. There is this data cataloging, right? You can just go with the one, maybe Data Hub or the other one. And there is analysis things. It's up to you to choose, because there is Jupyter, there is even Databricks, which I said before. It has all the things. And Metabase or Redas, whatever you want to do for the analysis purpose. And the quality assurance, this is a great expectation, but you can just go through this. It's not mandatory to go each and every one of these, but just choose some of the things. And because once you choose the things, you know that now there is a pipeline here from data collection to quality assurance. So you will know all high level picture of this one, right? And as I said you here also, do some research on what sorts of company you want to apply for job and what tools they use. You can achieve this by just going through the job post. This is just the example I'm going to show you, because I already showed you so many tools here. So which one to choose, right? Now I'm giving you 3 examples here. One is Netflix, one is Facebook, and one is Kone, where I work, right? Let's see what are the tools they use. If I go to the Netflix, let's see what are the tools they use in the data engineering field. The data engineer, there is a job post here, and here you can see what they do, who you are, what will you do. As you can see here, different things. And what do you know? Here you know what they use, right? For example, here they are saying write complex SQL. There is SQL, fluent in Python. You need to know Python. There is Spark and Flink. You know that there is the distributed data processing being done by this. And then experience with sourcing and modeling data from application APIs. So you need to know something about APIs. Knowledge of MPP, cloud, data warehouse solutions. Like, as you can see here, they use Snowflake, Redshift, BigQuery, Vertica, etc. So you know what are the tools that Netflix uses, right? And now let me go to Facebook. What are the tools Facebook use, right? You can just go through the main part here. So yeah, as you can see here, there is many things being used. So there is the experience in Python, there is experience in SQL, right? And ETL design, as I said you before also. And there is Airflow, Prefect, Daxter. You can see there are so many things here. And there is data modeling knowledge also you need to know. And here you can see that they use the NetEdge, Teradata, AWS Redshift, Google BigQuery, Azure Data Warehouses, right? And there are other things also here. So you know from this also what are the tools that Facebook uses, right? Now, if I go back, I go to Kone where I work, right? That's the reason I said we don't need to learn all the different things. If you go down here, you can see that you need to have Python, Scala, right? SQL is the needed one, and there is the DBT. That's what I said you before. And for the ETL, there is Airflow, Python, Scala things, and developing ETL jobs, AWS CDK, Terraform, and you need to know something about SAP, ERP. Yeah, as you can see here, there are different tools being used in different companies, and some of them are similar because if they use AWS, then they might be using the resources from AWS. If they use Azure, they might be used with the Azure thing. The next thing also, after knowing all the different things, you need to have a, let's say, basic understanding in some of these things. So let's say in data engineering in general, one book that I highly recommend you to go with is Fundamentals of Data Engineering by Joy Race and Matt Housley. This is really good book in order to understand about the fundamentals of data engineering, right? It's up to you if you want to go or not, but I highly recommend you to go through at least one book so that you know all the bits of data engineering. And now GitHub is huge resource, right? There are many repos in the GitHub. What I would suggest you to do is just source data engineering in the Git page. What I am doing here, like I just go to Git and I just source for data engineering, and you can go with the code or repositories. I'm going with the repositories. And now as you can see here, there are so many other repositories which are trying to help you in the data engineering things. That's how I do the research in order to know the best things out there. And out of this you can just choose one or many, right? But one that I liked actually is from, I have listed here also for you, the data engineering handbook. It has quite good resource here. As you can see here, great books. And as you can see, the fundamentals of data engineering is on the top list. That's what I also mentioned you, right? So you can go through this. There is different communities here, and there is the companies, orchestration, data lake, data warehouse, data quality, education companies, analytics, data integration, and all the different things here. So among many others, I find this helpful. So that's the reason I have kept this in the list, right? Okay, so you know all the different things. Now you need to know also about the cloud computing. I said before also, in all the different companies I showed you, they are using either AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud, right? I have just provided the links to the main website of these different cloud providers, but you can just master one, let's say, or if you already have in mind which kind of company you want to work, you can choose the one that they use, and later you can expand your knowledge because everything is doing the same behind the scene. It's just a platform that is different, right? So yeah, that's all. And of course, YouTube is the free university. You can just go there and find the best resources and stick on it. You find the best person who is providing the best resources for data engineering, let's say, and then just follow the videos. It will be really, really helpful. And then lastly, we are in the world of LLMs. And that is when everything comes into handy. Because before it was difficult to find specific things, what to learn and all the different things. But now you can just take the help of AI assistants. You can just ask, okay, what are the best tools for this? You want to do with CI/CD, what is the best tool? You want to do with orchestration, what are the best tools? Just ask the questions into the AI assistants. They will help you in making your path easier. Some of those which I recommend: Perplexity AI, ChatGPT, of course, and there is Bing Chat for Chat Enterprise if you are in a company, and it's better to use the one that is provided by the company so the data does not go outside. Maybe it is Bing Chat, maybe it can be ChatGPT Enterprise or something like that. And there is this Hugging Chat also, where it will provide the open source model, so you can just go there and play around with it. So yeah, that's all for this video. I hope now you get the idea on what kind of tools to use and how to find the tools that you need, right? The best thing always, what I recommend you to do, is just go through the companies that you are planning to apply, or you know that, okay, I want to work in this sort of companies. Look the tools they are using and start exploring things and try to make a pipeline of things to work. For example, as you can see here, You can just do the tools for collection, warehousing, transformation, cataloging, analysis, many things, right? So yeah, that's how I would recommend, and that's how I would start learning data engineering if I had to start over again. Because in the beginning there was no LLMs when I started. I did zigzag kind of studies, but at the end I went in a track, but then it took some time for me. But for you, this is the world of LLMs, right? Take the help of LLMs and make a clear plan. You can make your own roadmap. That's how I recommend. Instead of following someone else roadmap for this month or these days kind of things, after going through this, make just your own roadmap and then do things, because you are not always writing or going through the data engineering things. You have other life also, right? You need to manage all these things. Just take time, learn basics, take certain tools, master those. It helps you to excel in other different things. I hope it somehow guided you to get started with data engineering. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.